Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, in 2021, the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade will be right back after this short break.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the 150.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune into Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
We apologize for the technical difficulties experienced earlier. Now, in 2021, the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade, through the Namibia Trade Forum, in collaboration with various partners, launched the Buy Local, Grow Namibia campaign. We take a look at what they got up to today.
That we have at the ministry to empower and to develop the youth. We are very diverse. We don't only look at empowering the youth from the economic and employment opportunity part, but we look at issues that speaks to health and well-being. We are also entrusted with the mandate of developing and promoting sport, which I believe is part of the creative industry. And really for us, we try to encourage the youth to diversify. And I've seen that creative industry is one industry that we need to pay more attention to. I attended an event, I think that was 2 months ago, by UNDP that was supporting arts to do a pitching event, and it was very interesting looking at the immense of potential that our youth have. So for me, creative industry has been one of my soft spots, and I really want us as leaders to start rallying behind that industry because it plays equally very important role. So today we are gathered here under a common vision, a vision that celebrates the richness of Namibian literature and embraces the immense potential it holds for the future of our nation. As you are aware, and Stacey has alluded to it, the Buy Local, Grow Local, that government through the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade is pushing for. It was launched in 2021, and I think this is one initiative that the creative industry can tap on in order to ensure that we have access to market. Because we know when you speak to especially our constituent, the youth, and we are encouraging them to take up the entrepreneurial space, the first challenge that you encounter is access to market. And I think this is one of the initiatives that we need to support. Now, we all know.
Now, getting into our next story, the Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation hosted the 19th Dr. Theo Ben-Guriep lecture series in Swakopmund at the Mondesa Multi-Purpose Center today. Let's take a look.
I would like to congratulate the Ministry of International Relations for keeping the series alive. This is already the 19th one. Now, I recall when the first one came and the idea was mooted that it should be on a quarterly basis, I was one of the people, Honorable Minister, that was skeptical. I said, you won't have enough content to keep it alive. Why don't you have an annual public lecture? Because to have it on a quarterly basis, it demands a lot of commitment, and therefore applaud to the Ministry of International Relations for already having organized the 19th one. So where we are, to put in context, the idea of a free trade area, it didn't start 5 years ago or even 10 years ago. In fact, the founding fathers of the African continent, they had foresight where they started to dream of what we call a common market, the African Union. The idea is that African Union should be a common market. And I will later kind of explain the difference between a free trade area and a common market. Because this is eventually where we should be targeting, to have a common market in Africa. Just like the United States of America, it's a common market. So the difference between a free trade area and a common market is that a common market is a deeper form of integration. And it's only when you have a common market that we will really see that intra-trade flourish. And mind you, it's not only intra-trade in goods, because here we think of goods, but the future is about services. So it must also be trade in services. This is where a real value is. And one of the benefits with services is the mode of delivery. Some of the services, Enro, you don't have to deliver through a truck. You can deliver it through a click of a button. You can sit in India and do excellent programming overnight and send it to America. It's an export. So we have to also incorporate services, and we have to move towards a real common market. So, but for now, we should at least celebrate the fact that we have concluded the Africa Free Trade Agreement, Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. And I think applaud should also go to the Namibian government, because Namibia was one of the first countries to ratify it in Parliament.
Getting into our next story, the Japanese Trade and Industry Minister Nishimura Yasutoshi will pay an official visit to Namibia between the 7th to the 8th of August 2023, marking the first ever ministerial visit from Japan to Namibia. This was announced in a press statement issued by the Japanese embassy in Windhoek this afternoon. During his visit, Nishimura will pay a courtesy call to President Dr. Hage Geingob and have bilateral meetings with his counterpart, Lucia Ipumbu, as well as Mining Minister Tom Alwindo, to discuss bilateral economic relations, including the mineral and hydrogen sectors. This visit is aimed at strengthening amicable relationships between Japan and Namibia and pursuing new possibilities for business collaboration between the two countries. The Japanese minister is scheduled to also visit Angola, DRC, Zambia, and Madagascar. Now, in our next story, NAMDEP spends approximately $270 million Namibian per month on the procurement of goods and services from Namibian-based businesses. This constitutes approximately 85% of NAMDEP's total expenditure. The majority of the Grand Master of Namibian Diamond Mining's spend relates to earth-moving activities. This includes the supply of fuel for earth-moving equipment, the provision of services by mining contractors, and the supply of goods and services for the repairs and maintenance of earth-moving equipment, elaborates Anthony Phillips, NAMDEP's commercial manager. Now, according to Phillips, these strategic business partners employ a direct workforce of approximately 776 employees that are 99% of Namibian citizens for their operations at NAMDEP's southern coastal mines. These companies significantly contribute to livelihoods in the Oranjemund town through the construction of accommodation for some of their staff and their local spend in the town and the region, the mining giant commercial manager states. Now, after the break, we get into your story of the day. Do stay with Sunset News.
To another exciting episode of Irongo Talk. We bring jou lees weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
Now getting into our story of the day, Benita Imbapa, chairperson of the Erongo Regional Council, recently delivered her keynote address at the Erongo Regional Teachers Awards. Let's take a look.
At this glamorous event that is meant to honor hardworking and dedicated teachers who have performed exceptionally well during the course of the previous academic year. The tireless efforts by our teachers to prepare and shape our future leaders is of great significance and should therefore not go unnoticed. Having been a teacher myself, there it comes. I am fully aware of the challenges that teachers face on a daily basis, as well as the great responsibility that rests on their shoulders to produce productive members of society. I would therefore like to take this opportunity to salute all teachers, as well as other educational workers, for the marvelous job that they are doing in educating the Namibian child. The large number of teachers that will be awarded today speaks volume of the dedication by our educators to realize the region's mission, which is to provide quality services to all the stakeholders in education. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are all seated here this evening, I am sure that we will all admit that the influence of a good teacher is inescapable, and therefore we definitely play a crucial role in laying a solid foundation for our children. It is because of that treasured influence that we are all what we are today, because no other profession can have such a vital impact in shaping a child's future. As the saying goes, quote, "To the world you may be just a teacher, but to your student you are a hero," unquote. Let us make it our core responsibility to be the hero that our learners see in us, by giving them the best education that they could ever dream of.
Now, Naraville adds value with $250 million elderly home. We get into this story after the break.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with the entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Now, as I mentioned earlier before the break, Naraville adds value with a 25 million elderly home instead of 250 million home. Now, the Elderly Home Board of Trustees has begun the construction of its brand new elderly home at the corner of Langhoven and Ati Corlesen Street in Naraville, Walvis Bay. The Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Derek Claassen, said that the occasion marks a significant step towards the commitment to caring for and honoring for the elderly people. Let's take a look.
Celebration of a truly groundbreaking event, breaking ground signaling the imminent commencement of construction for a new senior citizens home here in Naraville. This momentous occasion marks a significant step forward in our commitment to caring for and honoring our elderly population. As we witness the birth of this long overdue initiative, let us reflect upon the profound importance of aging and the invaluable contributions our seniors make to our society. You know, our senior citizens embody a wealth of knowledge garnered through a lifetime of triumphs and challenges, and it's our duty to ensure they are provided with the care, respect, and dignity they so rightfully deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, in a world that often seems to prioritize youth and speed, we must pause and remind ourselves of the immeasurable worth of our elderly. I think I said it now. We must recognize that their stories, their memories, and their perspectives are treasures and enrich our lives. It is through the lens of their experiences that we gain a deeper understanding of our history, culture, and identity. Yeah. In conclusion, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all those who have made this endeavor possible. My greatest gratitude goes to the trustees of the Narwhal Elderly Home, the Council of the Municipality of Walvis Bay, the fishing industry, all captains of industry, and many who have lent their shoulders to this initiative. I am certain that the Governor will properly, because he's still talking, will properly list all those who have active roles brought us to where we are this morning when he gives the thank you note later on the program. With this said, let us embark on this journey of compassion and support as we have strived to create a society that truly values and cares for its senior citizens. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Now moving on, Namibia is currently finalizing a Chinese small livestock export deal. We get into this story on the other side of the break.
Namibians are still safe.
Everywhere else, the Supreme Court said we are not going to rely on foreign judgments.
By all means, we try to not make journalists public figures, but at the end of the day, they are.
Very good evening. My name is Taiwan Jabela, your host.
With their Protestant offsprings.
But the implementation, like she's saying, is another thing.
Now getting into our economic news, Namibia is at an advanced stage of concluding an agreement that will see the country exporting small livestock such as goat and sheep meat to China. A government official has revealed if pulled through, the deal will complement the existing high-class market for beef, which started in 2019, thus increasing Namibia's growth income. Now, the government is at an advanced stage to finalize the sheep and goat meat market access agreement with China. When finalized, this will open up a significant market for Namibian sheep and goat meat products, thus creating opportunity for increased domestic productive capacity by producers. Agriculture Minister Carl Schleitwein said on Thursday at the reopening of the O&L's farmers' meat market at Marienthal. Now, Namibia is the only country on the African continent with access to the best-paying markets the world over, he said. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. Now the Namibian trades against the British pound at 23.50, against the euro at 20.31, against the US dollar at 18.41, and $2 Namibian and 57 cents gets you one Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went up, with Brent crude oil trading at 1.45%, going for $86 and 60 cents per barrel. After the break, we get into your international news. Do stay with Sunset News.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Getting into our international news, a spokesperson for Donald Trump yesterday said the federal charges that the former president orchestrated a plot to try to overturn his 2020 election laws in what U.S. prosecutors call an unprecedented effort to undermine the pillars of American democracy is a case of election interference at its finest. Let's take a look.
The fact that I am standing here for the third time in 5 months is not a coincidence. This is the Biden political lawfare that we have seen time and time again. It is a deflection from everything that they have done. And if you don't believe me, look at the facts. This is not a coincidence. This is election interference at its finest against the leading candidate right now for president. For either party. President Trump is under siege in a way that we have never seen before. President Trump and his legal team and everyone on his team will continue to fight, not for him, but for the American people. I think that every court needs to look at this as a whole, right? It's not about the January 6th case. It's about the fact that in the matter of a couple months, we have seen them try and tie up, and me as an attorney, I've never seen this, tie up one individual who's running a campaign, running for office for president, so that he is in court, in depositions, and distracted, so that he won't properly run for 2024. And frankly, it's not going to work. The truth is, as an American, there were questions that he had regarding the election integrity. We've seen documents come out, we've seen documentaries come out showing that there were issues with the election. And frankly, by bringing this, I don't think Jack Smith really thought it through.
Let's take a look at the weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima Mulilo can expect a minimum of 10 degrees with a maximum of 28 degrees. Oshakati can expect a minimum of 12 with a maximum of 30 degrees. Hendy's Bay can expect a minimum of 13 degrees with a maximum of 21 degrees. And Rehoboth a minimum of 10 with a maximum of 25 degrees. We'll get into your sports news after this.
Good evening and welcome to your Sunset News Sports section. I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha. Africa's speed freaks are greatly narrowing the gap between them and the American Blitzers, as well as Jamaican Express trains in the 100-meter sprint. The 19th World Championship is just around the corner, 19 to 27 August in Budapest, Hungary. Once again, Africa will passionately motivate its athletes to compete against the rest of the world at the new National Stadium Center. Who are Africa's top 10 contenders in the 100 meters and how do they currently rank? The 2023 season's fastest times. This includes the chance to outperform the world's best on any given day if they can keep their nerves at bay. Nigeria leads with 3 top contenders, making the most represented country. ProEd Academy will host Walvis Bay Private School for the annual Inter-High School Sports Day at the ProEd Sports Park in Swakopmund. Athletes from the 2 schools participate in 5 different sports codes. The action will kick off on 3rd August with archery and chess matches. Netball.
That was your sports news. Let's get into your news highlights. Japanese Trade and Industry Minister Nishimura Yasutoshi will pay an official visit to Namibia between the 7th to the 8th of August 2023, marking the first ever ministerial visit from Japan to Namibia. NAMDEP spends approximately $270 million Namibian per month on the procurement of goods and services from Namibian-based businesses. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for joining us on Sunset News. My name is Glenora Shipura. Until next time.